Oh shit. Ah! Okay. Anyways, hello, salutations, everybody. Um, so today we're just gonna talk about um something I think that's really drastic in this time of age. And it's very much overlooked because it seems so simple, but what is to be learned is that simple things often have bigger causes. So, topic of discussion we're gonna do today is the present moment. Um, in context, it can't be put into words because everyone has their own moment. Of course, it's every time we are here, it's just a moment. It's just a moment that passes by, come and go. But what brings importance to that is this moment shows what's next. And my moments that I just for use me an example, of course, but me personally, my moments are if I'm recording now, if I'm talking to you now, the future entails is just maybe that I'll post this video. Maybe someone will reach it. Maybe someone will hear it. Maybe this will be something big for someone and small for someone else. Um, but really, the present moment just shows what is now and true, what is reality. Um, I've been, as shown on the last video, I've had past experiences where I've had crazy anxiety, and you know, I've talked to people before that have such great ideas, innovations that they want to implement into the world. But their problem is that they're anxious about everything. They're scared of what the reaction of the world will give them. And that's not a very secure spot to be in, you know? What we people look for in pretty much everything is just it's either freedom or it's security. Um the present moment gives both. It gives you security of what is true and it gives you the freedom of what is next. What's also true is that we can't always assume what's next, you know? Like example, I may be recording now, but this video may never hit YouTube or any form of content, publishing, anything of that nature. I can't tell what happens next. But what you can do in the present moment is just set intentions. And as of right now, I'm intentionally, recording. But we have to, what I think that humanity as a whole just needs to do is serve each other. And we don't really pay attention too much to what is serving us and what isn't. We may think it does serve us, you know, scrolling on Instagram or something of that nature. We may say this serves us by giving us information that we didn't know previously, which granted can be true. I've learned very much a lot from social media and the internet, and a lot of that's come from mindlessly doing nothing but scrolling. The problem comes is where how you decipher it and how you use that message for your next action. Um, a lot of people can say that social media is a tool that we use to spread out information, presence, all of these things, but as far as to how many people actually use it for that as a tool, it's very obvious how the margins show. Um, I feel that in the generation that we live in, and the generations that will come after us, they will may possibly have problems more worse problems than what we have now. And as of right now, we all know that attention is a market right now. It's the economy. That's how it is. Everything that we put our attention to is the value of everything else. And it comes with certain aspects that you have to sit and really think about, because if I'm sharing my attention to everyone else except myself, how does that really serve me? And how does that really bring value to me? Well, truth is that you really can't tell that unless you set an intention to do so. And the only way that you can know of any of these things is to be present. You have to be as present as possible. And what presence comes with is just awareness, and intellectualization. So something that I've done, I personally, before we go any further, I personally don't want to implement anything towards anyone. I don't want to give anyone new ideas. I don't want anyone to unoriginate themselves because someone else told them. To me, I feel like that is just a programming system, and I'm not against programming, of course, because there's some fundamental rational things that we do need to learn in this life, and some of those things are keys to survival. But what I can tell you is just from my experience, and from my experience of what I've learned is that we can be aware of the what. So awareness to me is the what. I've learned is that you can say that you're aware, and being aware is just saying what's happening now. So the awareness that I'm having is, what am I doing? I'm recording a video, I'm talking to people, or to a screen technically, but this will reach to people. And to follow that comes with the intellectualization of why. So why are we doing this? Why is this that? Why is this going to help us? Why is this going to help someone? Why is this going to help me? Incorporation of both of those things truly gives you that presence, that present moment of things. So when a guy walks into somewhere or a bar or something like that, the present moment of things is going to be, what am I doing? I'm walking in a bar. Why am I doing it? Well, maybe I'm going to socialize, or I'm going to, have a drink. Things of that nature follows with how present you are. And when you're that present, you start to identify things that the world shows you, and it really brings you to reality. I think that when you are so quick to have biased answers, and being very judgmental about things, and automatically assuming that your opinion is strongly needed, or uh, strongly just, it should be there. It should be. It's this. It's right. It's right. If we people think that whatever we say is right. But to be honest, there is no such thing as right, because eventually, over time, some things will change. Some people have been changing laws that 50 to 100 years ago were, in their basis, true. But now we know that things are different, and we continue to intelligize ourselves to know what's new and different and change. The present moment tells us how real things actually are, and it's a humble moment, but it's also it's a piece of knowledge that takes farther beyond just now. Um, so an example, right? And this happened fairly recently, but I I me as a person, I feel that if I'm not doing something that has a automatic response or an automatic reward or an automatic, just anything, just something instant gratification of things, I feel like I'm wasting my time or I'm doing something wrong. Well, this type of mind state can travel into all things possible. So this goes for relationships, financial, career, um, self help, self improvement, anything of that nature. So if I'm, watching a video on YouTube about um, how to diet correctly, if I feel like that I'm not putting that automatically into my dieting, I feel that, it's a waste of time to watch because what am I really doing? Um, what over time, being present has done for me is just it shows the value of everything. So, in the sense of me watching a video about how to diet, sure, I might not take everything from the video, and sure, it might not be a copy and paste. So, from virtual to reality, I'm going to do. But what it does give me is a small node of information, just a small bit of a node that I can utilize for future tense events. So when a dietitian tries to tell me, processed foods are bad for you and whole foods are the way to go, am I only going to eat processed and diet, or am I going to cut out completely all my processed foods and I'm going to go straight to whole foods? Yeah, maybe, but I'm not going to do it completely because in the end, I'm also still encrypted on my own ways. But what I do know now is that if I want to live in the most optimal way possible, I should go for whole foods. Another thing that, that travels to is the universes of what I explained of careers, relationships, anything of that nature. When for a person like me that feels that if it's not here in my face and I don't automatically feel that, and that just automatically encrypts to me that I'm doing something wrong. The flip side of that is that I've learned that every moment has its own piece of information to take from. And when I was growing up, when I grew up and everything, I've always had a burning desire to just be um, financially free. Everyone nowadays wants to be financially free. That's the mission for everyone. It's just find something that will provide enough money and wealth that we will be able to travel and roam wherever we like. What they don't understand is that, well, what I didn't understand, I don't want to talk about anyone else. I want to talk about myself. What I didn't understand was that um, everything directly doesn't maybe correlate with you. And this isn't to say that your dreams of financial freedom aren't real, but the things that you're looking at and looking for maybe just a piece to another puzzle that you're not 100% seeing. So the present moment has brought me to things that have truly just enlightened me on. And I'm not the guy to say that, I don't love people, I don't like people, but I do have a strong I do have a strong responsibility that I put on myself, and it. Some people call it unhealthy. Um, it's how you see it. It's how you see it, it's how you receive it, and it's how you respond to dish it back out. And with me, it's greatly improved a lot of things in my life when I've gotten out of here, and I've gotten out of here and I've instead stayed here. And here has taught me everything I needed to know going forward. And my relationships have dynamically changed. And it's because once you start to really, really live in reality of things, and don't get me wrong, please, that for those of you that, see what you want to do 5 years, 10 years in the line, please understand that, yeah, you can still have your future goals. You can still have all these things that you do want and that you need. You essentially think that is a necessity. Okay, sorry, my phone died. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, the presence of you now will give you the information you need to go forward. What it's brought for me is strength in my relationships of how I want them to be and how they affect me, how I affect others, and plenty more of information. What isn't shown to me is that, we overestimate what's coming and we underestimate what's now. Um, and I've, over my years, I'm still, of course, very youthful, very young, but over my years, I've seen that I undervalued relationships because I felt that, small talk and things of that nature are useless. They're pointless. What is the point of small talking to people? It doesn't provide value for anyone. It doesn't make money in my account, you know. Um, but in the counteraction of that, the present moment shows me what I don't like, what I do like, what I like to talk about, what's valuable to me, what's valuable to other people, and if those things correlate. And it's brought me great happiness from trying to understand myself and how I can, provide myself for others. And in the present moment, it's very hard to be in the present moment. Let's start there because just say that because we are very much attention deficits. Like we have so many we can't attend to ourselves enough. We bring our attention outward more than we bring it inward, and that first by hand is a step that some people do have to make before they can even understand what I'm saying. But what it's brought for me is connection, a stronger connection to everything around me, and it's brought stabilization to everything too. Um, I haven't as of right now, I don't undervalue my now moments, and I actually appreciate them a lot more. Once you start to live more in presently, you start to appreciate things a little bit more. You know, um, some talks that I have with my mom are, for example, my mother loves social media. She loves the stories that they tell. She loves the things that they bring, and the drama that comes with it. But previously, before, it infuriated me that I had to listen to this because it's not something that I want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing about someone else's life. I don't want to hear nothing about what brings no value to me is what I feel. um, with more time in the meditations and more times in just keeping my mind here instead of there, it showed that the connection that you build, it comes from you having to putting into more input and then just taking more output. um you can't sit in here all the time. You can sit in your mind goes on a million miles faster than you will, but you also have to understand that if you ever want to build something or stabilize something or have a connection with someone, or you want to talk to that girl, just or if you want to take a risk, you have to understand what your present moment is in taking right now. You have to understand that, and it took me some time to start understanding that, and I've noticed that when she talks about social media and everything now, it's more incorporating for me to hear. I like to hear about what she has to say. It's not more of what's being told, but it's more of I'm having a connectional moment with my mother. And I know a lot of people may say that, it's that's crazy that you don't value those type of things already, but you can't judge people also by what they lack in. All you can do is change the behavior. And that's what I've been working on. All my worked on is just changing my behavior. My present moment has taught me that the things that what I've been doing my whole life was nothing that I wanted really. It was a life of someone else, a life that I, Quez, could not live in. And so I started to do the things that I wanted to do because the present moment taught me that what is valuable to me. And what is really valuable to me is connection. I love to communicate. I love to talk. Over time, or when raising up in childhood, I was silenced a lot, and it's because I have a roaming mind. I can talk endlessly about anything, but how much value that comes out to, some people don't see it that way, and that's okay. That's okay. It's nothing that you can beat yourself over. You can't beat yourself over someone else's interpretations. But what you can do is just take in that information. Just take it in. You know, it's a lot. Sometimes it's hard to take in that truthful information, but the truth is the only thing that will set you to taking steps. If you're not truthful to what is everything of reality, you're nothing more than running on a treadmill. But taking the truth will get you off of that treadmill and you'll start taking first steps on sidewalks. And that's the beauty of life. It's just taking steps one at a time. And I love my mother to death. Just before anyone tries to put that idea out there, I love my mother to death. I have my disagreements with everyone because I have I'm a standing ovation for myself, but at the same time, I still value people. I value a lot of people that I don't even know for real. I value them because it's just me. It's just who I am. And I don't I don't say this to say that, everyone's problems and everything is yours to deal with as well. Okay, phone is dying too many times. Let's just make this. But um actionable step I want you guys to try and incorporate on this, if this is something that you want to work on too, um, just work on being here. You know, if you can't sit in a quiet room, try that. Just try it. Just sit here, say nothing, just look at a wall, look at something. But present moment gives you detail, and it's really what makes you human.